I was really interested to know if there was a patron saint of mental health. And there is a patron saint of mental health, but she dates back to the 7th century, which I was quite surprised about. Her name's St Dymphna, and she's a 7th century Irish princess. At a very early age, she decided to devote her life to Christ. But very tragically, when she was still quite young, her mother died, which literally drove her father mad with grief. And he began to have ideas about taking his daughter as his new wife. So Dymphna, as any sensible girl would, fled. She had help to flee, and she fled the country, and she ended up in a place called Geel in Belgium, town in Belgium. And here she set about doing work within the community, and she was working with people with mental health issues. So she was doing this good work, and this kind of spread. There was this person who's offering this help and this support to people, with mental health issues, and so people started to come to Geel. But of course, sadly, this is how she was located, and her father came looking for her to take her back to Ireland, and when she refused to go, he cut off her head, and she was martyred. And in the 13th century, that's when she was canonised, and she was made a saint. I took the idea that she would be this central figure, she would be the focus, but I also wanted her to be... I wanted to tell a kind of bit of my story, because I was somebody that, as a kid, suffered with a lot of anxiety, which followed me into adulthood. And as a kid, I was kind of very anxious, very shy, very nervous, and that is like in what you'll see in the panel on the right hand side, with the child is kind of like hugging the bear and kind of like very sort of like nervous of everything, and you kind of like a lot of things under the bed, and then on the left hand side you've got like an adult, but they're hiding, they're kind of like covered over in their duvet, and they're kind of tormented by, I suppose, those kind of thoughts of what if, and the anxiety and the overthinking, and they're not helping themselves because they're looking to kind of deal with their issues in a way that's not helpful. So you kind of like travel from the child to the adult to the central figure of St Dymphna, where she's slaying the demon with a sword. The idea is that they're all the same person. I mean, you have to be the slayer of your own demons.